What's up, everybody? I'm Sydnee Goodman, and in today's Daily Fix, Halo Infinite multiplayer for free, 343 addresses Halo criticism, and The Last of Us Part TV makes a promise to fans. Roll the thing. Hello! Happy Friday. Let's get to the chase. Halo Infinite will feature a free-to-play multiplayer mode and run at up to 120 FPS on Xbox Series X, according to a retailer listing and other sources. Smith's Toys included Halo Infinite in its listing for the Xbox Series X. The section in question has since been removed, but luckily, we have a screenshot. We've seen the picture before, but the text reads, quote, "The legendary Halo series returns with the most expansive Master Chief campaign yet and a groundbreaking free-to-play multiplayer experience. Enjoy up to 120 FPS and greatly reduced load times, creating seamless gameplay with Xbox Series X." Later on in the day, the official Halo Twitter account confirmed the leak, rumor, what have you, by saying, quote, "Halo is for everyone. We can confirm Halo Infinite multiplayer will be free to play and will support 120 FPS on Xbox Series X. More details will be shared later." Now, we already heard that Halo Infinite's campaign will run at a locked 60 frames, and the idea that multiplayer would both run and be released in a different fashion than the single-player portion fits with 343's plan for Halo Infinite to become more platform than standalone game, and I am here for it. I'm planning on buying the game, so free-to-play multiplayer doesn't speak to me from a financial standpoint, but it's a solid signal that 343 plans to invest in the player base and adapt to the current market. I stand by the fact that Halo 5 is the best Halo multiplayer since Halo 2, and Halo 3 is my favorite game of all time. But the biggest issue was there wasn't a massive player base that stuck around beyond the first wave of hype. So to remove the financial barrier to entry for Infinite's multiplayer feels like a great stepping stone. The next step would be to retain those players, and I guess we'll find out more about how they plan to do that in addition to the Battle Pass mentioned the closer we get to launch. But Sydnee, what about the graphics? What a convenient segue. Thank you, Sid. 343 has addressed that feedback and gone into even more detail. Halo Infinite developer 343 Industries addressed some of the biggest concerns following its Xbox Games Showcase reveal, including graphics, if there will be a multiplayer beta, and how the game will handle microtransactions. The answers to all these questions were discussed on Halo Waypoint by community manager John Janicek. There's a lot to get through, so we're gonna do it rapid fire style. On overall art style, Janicek pointed to 343's learnings from Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo Wars 2, as well as community feedback as strong influences to shift, quote, back towards the legacy aesthetics that defined the original trilogy. He explained the art direction as a, quote, more vibrant palette, cleaner models, and objects with less noise, and also acknowledged that it might not be everyone's personal preference, but that 343 stands by the artistic decision and is happy it's resonating with so many fans, myself included. Next up, visual fidelity. Janicek started off by acknowledging the negative feedback, which includes, quote, characters and objects appearing flat, simplistic, and plastic-like, lighting feeling dull and flat, and object pop-in. His response, quote, "We are in agreement here. We do have work to do to address some of these areas and raise the level of fidelity and overall presentation for the final game." He goes on to say that there are other aspects of the feedback that have, quote, brought new opportunities and considerations to light that the team is taking very seriously and working to address. As for multiplayer beta and flighting, Janicek reiterated what 343 head Chris Lee said last week, which is that plans for a multiplayer beta have been impacted due to working from home during COVID-19, and that 343 isn't sure a beta will happen, but is hoping, quote, to have an opportunity for broader hands-on before release. Which brings us to microtransactions. They were confirmed back in 2018, but Janicek reassured fans that there won't be real money loot boxes. Janicek also graced us with some smaller details, like confirmation that the battle rifle, the BR-75, will make a return, and much to my chagrin, the grapple hook will be in multiplayer. But it will function differently and be available as an item that can be picked up on the battlefield, which, if it's functioning in a power weapon control scenario or like an overshield, okay. Halo Infinite is coming holiday 2020 on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC. The Last of Us HBO series producer Craig Mazin has promised that the TV show adaptation will not undo the popular Naughty Dog game. Speaking on BBC Radio 5 Live's Chernobyl special, Mazin explained the careful process behind adapting The Last of Us for TV and assured fans that they plan to expand the source material instead of undo it. He pointed to his collaboration with Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann to further ease fans' fears. Quote, "I'm doing it with the guy who did it, and so the changes that we're making are designed to fill things out and expand, not to undo, but rather enhance." He went on to say, quote, "We're creating a new and we're also reimagining what is already there to present a different format." No word on release date yet, but whenever we get more details, you know we've got you covered. And that was your Daily Fix. I'm Sydnee Goodman, and I hope your day is as awesome as you are. Now that you're all caught up on the news, check out our review of Skater XL. Download the IGN app on all your mobile devices. Subscribe to the Daily Fix on Snapchat, and for all things, everything else, IGN.com. I promise I won't sing a jingle every time, or the same jingle every time.
We are one step ahead, always. The ring is already under our control.